All right, what is up, guys? I'm your friendly neighborhood web warrior Fanatic, and I got a really special episode of the podcast today. We have from BuyTheSameToken, we have Chris on our right here, and we have Ed on the left. And Ed is like the designer for the hero boards for Marvel Champions. Yeah. Hi, guys. Welcome.
Oh,
Thank you so much for making the time to come over.
thank you for having me. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have probably seen we have the Daredevil. I'm trying so this thing doesn't fall off. The Daredevil hero board, which looks crazy, crazy cool. So yeah, Ed right here designed it, and we're gonna be talking a little bit about the design process and how this came to be. But I also want to announce a giveaway that Chris and Ed like decided to do for the Daredevil hero board. So yeah, as always, I mean it's super easy to enter. It's free to enter. I'll put all that in the description of this video, but you guys just gotta fill out that Google form. But I want to give a huge thank you and shouts to Buy a Sam Token as always for like being so gracious and generous with these giveaways because the shipping, guys, it's insane. Like you guys do international shipping. I don't know you guys have ever shipped anything international. Not you guys, but like the viewers.
Wider
It's
audience.
it's crazy, crazy, crazy. So like I'm so grateful that you guys are always like willing to do these giveaways for the community. Like it's crazy expensive. It's like more than like the actual like it's insane. Yeah.
We do what we can.
Yeah,
Got to
yeah.
get stuff on. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know the community, I mean, loves gives giveaways. So yeah, thank you guys so much for doing another giveaway here for the Daredevil Hero Board, guys. So it's gonna be this hero board right here, the Daredevil Hero Board, and we'll be doing a giveaway. It will be in the description of this video for how to enter and everything. But yeah, it's gonna be live by the time that we're posting this video, and then yeah, it's free to enter. They were gonna send the Daredevil Hero Board to a lucky winner here. So yeah, this is how Daredevil looks here on this hero board. You can turn upside with it. Yeah. Yeah, don't worry. I'm gonna put it on the screen so some people can see how it looks like because it looks a lot better than how I'm doing it justice here on just this camera here. But yeah, so I have some questions for you guys about the Daredevil hero board. So I have my questions over here because I'm gonna forget them if I don't write them down. But so Ed, I was wondering what is your like creative process for creating a hero board and how you start that up? Is it kind of the same
Ooh.
for every board? Like, is it like you always start with this, or just like does it depend on the hero? Like for Daredevil, I'm gonna go like this direction, but for this, I care about like maybe Nightcrawler, I care more about like this mechanic of the character. Like, is it always the same, or is it like just you're just winging it like every single time?
I think it's very dependent on the character. Usually, I'm kind of lucky. I've kind of assimilated a lot of Marvel by osmosis. I was I playing like the Hero Clicks game very early, so I'm familiar enough with some obscure stuff. I think usually it depends because I there are boards where it's there's been a very immediate idea. Daredevil was a funny one. I knew what I wanted that to look like very early on. But there are others that kind of develop over time. I'm sure you probably can see throughout the range we had what I would kind of refer to as our chest era, um, where everything was sort of framed within that space. It felt the shape of the board. I mean, I've got my
Oh yeah,
own
yeah,
here. The shape of the board really lends itself to that kind of torso suggestion. I think a lot of the time it's just about finding something that is visible with or without the card and that encapsulates the hero. I think that's the thing. Usually it will be about finding that one detail that really says something about the character. And that sounds really basic, but I think it's something like vision, where it's that phase mechanic,
yeah,
and so you really want the focal point of that to be that kind of difference in the material.
yeah,
Another one being Iron Man and War Machine and Ironheart, you've got the reactor in the
yeah,
center, and so it's very much we're gonna and what happened. I mean, at that point, it's picking that, and then I think building the rest of it out from that. I'm a bit of a maximalist when it comes to design, so I have to really stop myself from just completely filling the space with stuff.
yeah. Gotcha.
Um, and but yeah, it's a case usually of finding that detail, figuring out what that is, zeroing in on it, and then finding how to accommodate that within the wider space.
Gotcha. So with the Daredevil one, you said that you knew what like the idea was like very early on. How did you like where did this come from like for the Daredevil board?
This is it sounds a bit sentimental, I don't know if you're familiar with any of the kind of Marvel Legends action figures.
I'm
Like,
not sure. No, yeah.
so there was it was a oh really I'm showing my age here because there was a toy range. It started in 2002, and I think so. I must have had the figure when I was about 6 or 7 years old.
You showed me a picture of it actually. It was
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I'll like put a
yeah.
picture of it somewhere on the screen for y'all. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. But they came with these kind of wall mountable displays for the figures.
Oh wow, so cool.
And so I had the Daredevil one, and he's crouched behind this kind of ruined cathedral window. And I've still a very, very vivid memory of that. And I was like, well, that's kind of just perfect. I mean, there's Daredevil's got that. Daredevil's got that really strong Catholic imagery already. And I mean, funnily enough, I say I've come off. I'm still very into Treacher Crusade at the moment in my other kind of hobby escapades, and so I've been spending a lot of time in that kind of Gothic architecture space. But it just really, I think that kind of putting the hero in this kind of window venerated context just really, really works, especially for a board when you're doing something that's kind of meant to be kind of encapsulating and kind of iconographic of the character. It just really makes a lot of sense, and it's a really nice way to cram in a lot of referential stuff, right? It's not just about the hero, it's about all the little bits around him. So on the board you've got the kind of hand ninjas off to the side and the statues, you've got the kind of cityscape below him with the Chrysler building and everything.
Yeah, no, I mean that's so cool. I mean my favorite detail is like the church. I feel like I can just see Daredevil like, he's like fighting like in the church as he's like doing stuff. And like it's a red church too. Like it gives me like the vibe of like like the Ben Affleck movie and like the Netflix series. It's just like he's always like having fights in the church, like he's like destroying the church. Yeah, but like it really like shows that vibe, which is like really cool. Yeah, I was wondering, is there anything whenever you like have an idea, does Chris ever like reject an idea and he's like, no, we're not doing that, or like this is not feasible?
So it's not very often.
It's very rare
because he's so good at it. That I often don't need to. But this was the one board where I just didn't on the initial design, and it because we both he had an idea of what he wanted to do for it, and I was like, well, it's got to be red, obviously. Right? It's got to be red
for a Daredevil board.
Of course, yeah.
Okay.
But at the same time, I had a picture of kind of like Hell's Kitchen and kind of grimy and dirty as well, So the grey light is where I was saying, we were having a big debate. Often it's when we do a bunch of samples, and we do a lot of samples in different colours. It's clear what route to go down. That one's clearly better than that one or whatever. But in this particular case, we're really torn between, do we go with the grey board with the kind of red border, kind of like that, versus what we went with in the end, which was that, so it was, and we were torn, weren't we, between this, and but more than that, it was what to put in the middle. So we had we went with a black and red central part in the end, but we had red tint painted white, we had
that's cool
versions, But more than that, for me, what bothered me was the artwork for Daredevil originally. It was just throwing me off. And I don't know how well you can see, but that was let me give you a solid one, actually. If we've got one. That doesn't work.
If I'm honest, the white one
that's probably the best one, isn't it? Yeah, can you see that? So
yeah.
That was the pose.
Okay.
And I just wasn't feeling that.
Yeah.
And so Ed reluctantly went away and came back with what you see now, basically. So we made the right.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's an interesting thing about working in the way we do on this sort of a space this big, because when you're working kind of on things that mostly like iconographic, and also tokens that are like literally 20 millimeters tall.
The detail.
It's much more about like, you just kind of need to get the shape right, and the eye's going to do the rest. And when it gets to this size, it gets a lot more like, well, like it works, it kind of looks like him, but it's also kind of flat. And it's the nature of working on kind of this, in the way we etch and paint stuff, where you kind of have to fill these spaces and these and imply these recesses, and all you have to do it with is 2 solid colors. But yeah, no, we definitely made the right choice. I mean, I don't know if I'm spoiling too much here about kind of how everything, how our sausage gets made. So usually when we've got a project like this, it goes to, it will go between 1 or 2 people. As you kind of seen, you might share on the screen at some point, I sent you over the initial brief. So this board, I didn't actually do the majority of the drawing for it. I did a mock-up, and then I passed it over to a absolute brilliant freelancer that we use, especially for Marvel, because she's fantastic. And she kind of took what I had, refined it, and then kind of iterated on it a bit. And then through sheer, I'll then take that back, and I'll then do a bit of work on it. We'll pass it back and forth. And then through sheer happenstance, as it was just being finalized, I happened to be away. And so this was actually kind of finished by our other in-house designer, Nick. So it's this really weird little confluence of like this very rare instance of a thing being worked on by all 3 of us, which is actually really nice. like because it's like you look at these things like, I did that, they did that bit,
Yeah.
and I think it really just comes together really nicely as a singular thing. I think we've learned to work through each other's styles. I digressed quite a bit there.
I mean, I feel like you nailed the actual board rather than the circle set. I was just blown away by that, like the amount of detail and like the city and all the rest of it. You know, just nailed first time. Yeah, I'm happy with them.
Yeah. No, I think their board looks great. I'm glad that when you came back, you weren't like, "What do you guys do to my board? Like it looks messed up." I'm glad that
it's difficult when you have to tell someone I'm not a fan of that. You know, when they put a lot of work into it. You know,
Yeah. Whenever you were talking about how like, it doesn't happen often like that you guys disagree like or like have an argument about the board. I thought you were talking about like I don't know, Vision or like another board. You're like, no, the Daredevil Hero board is the one that we had a huge like discussion about. Yeah, I was like, wow, this board, okay, that's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because we knew there'd be a lot of mind for this one.
Yeah,
so we kind of thought it'd be quite easy actually. It's going to be easy. It's red. It's going to be red of some kind, you know. And we've got to get this right. Actually, like if we're not all agreeing on what this should look like, we've got to think about it.
It's the interesting one where we couldn't it honestly took me by surprise how like the anticipation for this particular expansion and this particular board, because I've been aware of Daredevil. I just didn't realize quite the hype for it. And so there's a thing of like, there is also this thing of like, well, we better get this right. And there was an awful lot of like, should we just kind of, it's done. And then it's kind of like, no, we've got it. It's like, it has to be perfect. Yeah, I'm trying to think about the other ones now, not to air our dirty laundry, but I think the last thing we really couldn't get any.
Magneto, there was a bit.
Magneto. I was thinking Black Panther. It took quite a long time to figure out how to get purple, gold, and silver on. And that was.
Then we just didn't do the gold.
Yeah. There was the whole thing about is he black and gold or is he black and silver?
That's funny. No, that board is so like the detail. I don't know if this is a like purposeful thing. I feel like you can tell like the detail on the Black Panther board, and a lot of your recent boards like look different than the earlier boards, but it's like they have more like I don't know how to describe like little marks and detail. And I'm a big fan of that. I don't know, like, did someone get fired? Like what? Like someone like I don't know what happened to that process.
I mean, this would have begun with me doing them initially, right? So you're gonna, and just by the way I used to draw things was a lot more simplified. Where Ed was saying that he has to fill every space with like something. I'm quite the opposite. So
Gotcha.
It's also genuinely, literally a case of we switched medium. So everything used to be done through CAD software, essentially.
Okay.
Specifically AutoCAD. And
which is quite limiting.
yeah. I mean, what it really means is if you want anything particularly detailed, you have to draw it, scan it, photograph it, take it into AutoCAD, and do stuff with it. And it creates quite crisp. It's nice crisp lines, but it's incredibly graphical. Like you are limited to kind of very certain styles of shapes, which still really lends itself well to certain ranges.
Yeah.
But Nick and I, a couple of years ago, fully made the transition over to essentially just digital drawing.
Yeah.
So now pretty much everything is done on a drawing tablet.
Gotcha.
And that it definitely lends itself to a lot more organic styles. You can, like you say, you get an actual idea of the mark making in
Gotcha.
like the pen strokes. And the other thing is we've also sort of really pushed the lasers to their limit in terms of how they etch. So kind of getting these gradients and shades by dictating like anywhere between white and black kind of tells the laser to it will tell the laser to kind of create a hatch level of detail. And when you fill that with paint, it will sort of give it that shade look, which can look really ugly if you don't get it right, but also just works really well as a kind of half measure between a full color.
So suddenly you haven't got full etched and non-etched.
Yeah, it's a really cool process to discover. I mean, it's something that's always really fun about this. Is these processes get so bespoke and so I don't know, so specific to certain things that they're almost accidental when you discover them.
And this is why the hero boards have evolved as you've observed, because the methods we've got about making them have changed, right?
I understood some of that, like the etching stuff.
Sorry.
That went right over my head. So, but no, I mean that's entirely fine. I'm sure that whoever's watching this, if they're interested in like the the details and design, I think that's gonna be really interesting for them to listen and hear about. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So about the Daredevil hero board, I want to ask each one of you, what is your favorite part about the board?
I've already answered that one. I like the surrounding detail. Basically, I like the cathedral and the city below where he is personally, and I like the color combination. It really makes it Daredevil to me, But the central part was the bit for me that I just couldn't abide at the time, right? And I'm far more happy with the way that looks now.
That's really hard.
So Chris's favorite thing was everything about the board.
I think I'd have to say it's probably it's cheating because it's two things. But I really like the city. I really like the city detail below. I like something I've been wanting to try and do more of is kind of a stained glass idea on acrylic for a while, and it's hard. But I like the kind of the lines in that, and also the kind of haloing around him.
Yes.
Kind of, just this kind of like slightly inconspicuous detail that kind of really makes the context, I think.
Yeah. I will say I think the haloing on this design is a lot better than the one that, like the original one that you guys showed me. With it's like a little bit smaller here, it seems like the haloing compared to the glass that you guys showed me a little bit earlier.
I think it's a bit more. It's a bit less in your face, which is nice about it. Like it's sort of you don't. It draws you to the bigger role than itself, right?
Yeah. I do love the way the arch just kind of gets into the center.
It's like, oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah. Do you guys have anything else that you want to add for the Daredevil hero board? And then I have some like more general questions about like BTST for you guys after this.
No,
I don't think so. Only thing is, it's interesting you mentioned the arch because those squares. Usually I try and put something in the token slots that is kind of separate from the main drawing, but is a bit indicative of something. And you might see on the brief there's these little like Daredevil doing various like little martial arts poses.
Oh yeah.
And then this going with this was very much an exercise in restraint, because it's just like you get to a point where it's like I think you start to lose the whole image if you don't keep it.
Yeah.
If you don't keep it cohered into this one thing, and it's definitely a kind of kill your darlings thing. Because I remember looking up a bunch of pose references and going like, oh, that'd be really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough to decide which one. Yeah, I do really like the how it comes through like on. I mean, people may not be able to see it here, but yeah, it's really cool that it's like one kind of complete thing there. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So next I have some questions from my channel members and patrons. Huge shout outs to everyone that supports the channel. But they had some more general questions. I told them that I was gonna have you guys on to talk about the Daredevil board. But some people want some other board for other heroes. You guys don't have to commit to them or not. But yeah, it's I'm sure you guys get this all the time. Like because everyone wants the board for their favorite hero. So okay. So the first question here I have from Menom. Huge shout outs to Menom. She asked, how many units does a player board typically have to sell to be considered worth the design production? Like, you guys have to just is there anything that you look? I guess I don't know how you would know beforehand. I guess I don't know.
You don't. That's the problem.
Yeah.
What we should really start. I mean, this is why lately we've been trying to host polls, ask the community and we'll go off that. So whoever's most vocal tends to be where we focus our efforts. I mean, we were doing a checklist, weren't we, and putting tally marks next to them before.
Yeah.
And that's how Venom came about, I think, because we couldn't believe it. We're like, really, Venom's the most out of our community, anyone that was following us at the time. And so he got made first. In fact, Daredevil came about because when I was chatting to Jason from D20, and he hosted. He did a poll on his channel, right? And Daredevil got the highest vote, and he wasn't even out yet, so. And so we knew we were going to do him, right? But we also had a plan to do the Defenders board as well. That's probably the next one on the list.
I'm not cutting that. No, yeah, I can cut that out. You guys want to see that?
So this is the time when everyone wants a specific hero, but if we can, we'll try and do a team one so that can accommodate multiple heroes, Guardians, X-Men, whatever.
This has been something I've been trying to do recently is cover the base somehow. So whether it's a team board, we've also been doing the little team activation tokens as well. So you can kind of, if I can't necessarily give everybody a board of their favorite hero, they'll definitely get an activation token specific to that hero in a board that's thematic with them.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the thing is I can't know more about the kind of actual
I mean, in an ideal world, we'd do every hero, right?
But,
and I keep saying to you, it's like I've got no problems with us doing more and more hero boards, because they're generally pretty popular with our customers and the community. So, but there's just so many. They release them faster than we can get hold of them.
Yeah.
This is a recurring theme.
And then I suppose as time goes on, you kind of look back at older heroes and go, "Did we address that hero now? They're kind of old news, and we've got, I don't know, Fantastic Four's coming out now. Who knows, right?" But and then a lot of it will be, I've got to do Iron Man. I need an Iron Man board, so there'll be personal preferences within the studio.
This is actually one of the quite exciting things about rotation. I know that's been quite a controversial thing, but I know certainly there was at least at one point an implication that we might be revisiting heroes that were previously covered in sort of kind of rotated blocks, and I think that's a really cool opportunity to get to revisit some of these things as well.
I mean, I said before we'd like to go back revisit the Spider-Man book.
I was gonna.
Is another one.
Or Web Warrior book.
Yes. That would be so cool.
Maybe with your help, frankly.
Yeah.
But I don't know who else is on the cards. Who else
I'd say the next one. I mean, I was going to mention this anyway, so it's not terribly spoilers. But the next one is a Defenders board.
Okay.
It will be a Defenders team board, and I've got some some kind of pictures in my head
That's
of
awesome.
that. But if anybody has some thoughts, then any thoughts or suggestions? Then
But
let me
yeah,
know.
I mean, we'd have to go back to our old list or host a new poll.
Yeah,
Maybe you'd like
yeah.
to do a vote on your channel. Frank.
Sure.
See
Yeah. Yeah.
what-
I'm totally down. Yeah.
And go ahead with that, like we did with Jason. Yeah,
Cool.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Awesome.
always happy to listen to what everyone's after, really, and we'll go by popularity. How's that?
Yeah. Yeah, guys, comment down below what you want to see on a Defenders board. So you guys don't have an idea yet? Like you guys aren't like concrete on anything?
I vaguely have this idea. I had this very early idea of taking the idea of kind of, I know Fear No Evil, because of sort of the low keyness of the storyline, was referred to as kind of street level Marvel. And I had this very literal take on that at one point, where you try and take the style of the villain stands and pan down, and you do something slightly isometric, but very like
Oh,
kind
that'd
of
be
close
cool.
up of, with a bunch of, and you can hide so many cool little details in there,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, you know, little street with little comic store and stuff like that.
Yeah. No.
The other thing I really wanted to look at was just graffiti in general.
Yeah.
Graffiti aesthetics on acrylic is something I'd love to try,
Cool.
because we've not really done it.
Yeah.
And I think we could, and just making it look good, I think would be a really fun challenge.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking like maybe like Josie's or like Fogwell's Gym or something. But I like the graffiti one like a lot. Like it would be so cool to see like a million colors on it. Yeah, that's I would vote for that if I feel like that sounds really cool. But I mean, definitely check out the comments and stuff and see if people also want that. 'Cause,
I've kind of got my head, that'd be like the comic book board, then I imagine, right? That kind of style,
Maybe.
generic type thing, right?
We'll see.
And then Minimum also shouted out, said, as much as I love a Psylocke board, I can understand why it couldn't happen, but I just would be interested in knowing like some rough numbers for units. But I guess you guys don't really. I mean, you guys don't know until you actually drop the board. Yeah.
We make them to order, right? So we don't generally build up a stock
Gotcha.
of any built products. You know, a bit of insider information: they tend to be made in batches of 12. So just from the material that we produce, that's how many we can fit on a sheet. So if we need if we've got an order up for a Daredevil board, then 12 will be made. And then as orders come in, they make. This is why sometimes they'll ship out next day. Sometimes they'll ship out in a few days. Depending on what's in stock. But yeah, so generally all made to order. So
I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Something that reminds me of as well is that I can't necessarily guarantee a Psylocke board, though I'm never going to rule any of them out. I did want to look at doing some more X-Men team ones. I know you've got X-Force. I'm drawing a blank on them, but I know you've got a few different kind of permutations, and I think it would be cool to kind of
like an X-Force board.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, because I think Avengers boards is one of the most popular ones as well.
That one's
and of course got the Shield board. So there's quite a few team and non-hero specific boards.
Yeah.
I think people like because then they can obviously apply them to any hero, right?
Yeah, and then I do want to speak for my channel members. Dedex Pool also commented, "I love a Psylocke hero board." So there's a few Psylocke lovers over here. So yeah. I mean, I'm thinking like
it's gonna be purple black, right?
Sort of dark blue.
Yeah, I guess that is.
so some like pink could like really pop there too.
Yeah. Real like fluorescent. Cool. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, and then Minimum had a second question asking, would you consider the hero boards for popular characters that aren't in the game yet? Like I think you mentioned earlier about Fantastic Four, like a suit theme, or like a Doctor Doom Latveria board. Like, do you guys have thoughts for that already, or is it just waiting?
Well, I've already got a picture in my head of what the Fantastic Four board should look like.
Oh, nice.
I mean, don't you?
Yeah.
I can see the colours on the shelf out there, what it would look like. But, and that's the one I think you can genuinely do. The team board is
Yeah.
I tend to leave. I've come like inches away from just starting to do a Fantastic Four.
Oh wow!
Specifically, because it's one of those things we just know we're going to see it eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't usually because I like to know as much as I can. I mean, it's one of those things where I would hate to do a Fantastic Four board and then we somehow get a mechanic that's just necessitates something completely different.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
looking and I'm like, oh no, like I don't know. Yeah, turns out Mr. Fantastic's hero card is actually stretchy.
Yeah.
You have to accommodate that.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
I think that would be pretty cool as well.
yeah.
I think board would be cool. Yeah, I think board would be cool. But no, I think definitely there's definitely scope for that, and I think if there's ever a good enough idea, kind of burning a hole in kind of our heads, then I think it's definitely definitely liable to get done, even if it's not necessarily represented as a card.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, if Fantasy Flight Games is watching, if Mr. Fantastic, that stretch, that would be a pretty cool idea for a card. Like, you pull him, it just stretches the card. That'd be awesome. Yeah, I'm down for that.
Well, they did a great man, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. Ant-Man, we need to get back to Ant-Man.
Yeah.
He's one.
He needs a new board.
Yeah. Sorry. Digression.
No, yeah. And then I want to give huge shouts to Nar Antlers, who commented, will they please make a Domino hero board? She's the best here in the game after all.
Ooh, Domino. Well, that's also getting written down. If again, shall we represent it one way or another? Oh, yeah. I don't know. Could do. I regret to say I haven't played Domino, but it's gone on the list. I think though that generation of kind of X-Men spear characters definitely need to revisit.
I mean, I would have liked to have done more X-Men characters.
Yeah. I always felt
where do you put the line through that?
Yeah, I always felt that the only one that got their own board was Wolverine.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
it was
he's Wolverine.
Well, let's be honest.
Yeah,
Probably the most popular X-Men.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna give shout-outs here to Celtic Canadian, who asked, how do you choose what heroes get like what hero boards? I think you guys kind of talked a little bit about that.
Yeah. Again, it comes down to community. You know, we want to hear from you guys. So, like, the more you tell us, the more shouts we get over a certain thing, the more likely that is to happen.
I think there's a little bit about of just kind of perception of hype as well. I mean, Fear No Evil. It was kind of obvious that Daredevil was the one, right? And it doesn't necessarily mean that none of them won't ever get any more, but it's very much like, oh, this one has to be addressed before we do the others.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a bit of that. Sometimes it's just a bit of a case of we've got a really good idea for that one. I think Ironheart and War Machine were ones I personally was pretty insistent on.
Oh, I mean, I wanted War Machine.
Yeah. And that board specifically was one where I was just like, okay, I just figured out a way to kind of get the digital camo pattern effect in. So it's like, well, this is getting made. Like we're already doing
based off that.
Yeah, we're already doing Iron Man. So we'll get this done at the same time.
I mean, Iron Man, we had some pretty extreme ideas, didn't we?
Oh,
how do we make a board that comes apart in multiple pieces?
Oh, that would be
I mean, it would have just been like a real, just, you know, this is going to be...
We worked it out, and it was like, oh my god, I can't justify this.
But it was a nice idea.
Well, one thing I will say about that actually is we had that discussion back when we weren't 3D printing, and we are now 3D printing. So a lot of these things that used to be a lot harder to do because it would require, I don't know, gluing together a billion bits of acrylic, now become a lot easier when you can basically just make the mechanical part you need bespoke.
I mean, there was on Nightcrawler, there was talk of having a little magnetic tail that swung out from underneath.
Oh, that would be cool.
I got poo-pooed in the end. But...
I couldn't find the room. But, yeah, it's mostly it's a little bit. It's a little bit community, I'd say. It's a little bit personal preference sometimes, and it's a little bit just kind of the idea.
Yeah. If you know what you're going to do, that saves a lot of time.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah,
follow
no,
the
I think that
Discord.
answers the
Tell us
question.
what you're after. That's the takeaway from this.
Yeah, yeah. I
Well,
mean, yeah. Let me know if you guys like aren't down for this, but I'm thinking like if you guys like whoever's watching, comment down below like what hero board that you want, and then like the four like most upvotes. I'll make a poll in the channel, and then yeah, with the four options. And if you guys want a
Yeah.
team board, comment that down too. Like you guys are already gonna make a defenders board, but
Yeah,
like if they
that's
want
coming. So
like
don't worry about that one. That's coming.
yeah, Web Warrior. I'm gonna make an
Yeah, I
account
mean,
and comment Web Warrior.
that's more like him because Spider-Man's one of my favorites as well, right? And I'm always, if I'm playing, I'm often playing him. Like, and so yeah, he needs a new board, basically. One designed by somebody competent.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, we could. I really, if you're cool with this, we can send you a invite link to our Discord. If anybody wants to make any suggestions to us, because we're pretty active in there as well.
Oh, yes.
Nick and myself especially.
Yeah.
Respond to people a lot. So if anybody ever just has anything very specific,
Yeah.
that they're kind of shouting at the screen for, it's the best place to reach us for that.
Yeah, I will put that in the description of this video, like a Discord link, like for our Discord too. Yeah, so anyone wants to give suggestions, bother these guys, say we want a Web Warrior board, we want a whatever board. Yeah, you guys can go to their Discord there for that. Yeah.
Cool.
All right. That's basically it for this. Thank you for the chat, guys. I think that ended up twice as long as I told you it would take, so I apologize for that.
Good.
Flies when you're having fun.
Thank you very much for having us.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. Yeah, so yeah, guys, comment below what hero that you want, and don't forget to join the giveaway and enter the giveaway for your Daredevil hero board. Thank you so much to BuyTheSameToken for being so generous as usual with hero boards here in the giveaway, and for making the time to talk about this really cool Daredevil hero board here.
No worries.
No worries, man. Thank you.
See you all later.
You guys all later.